Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, what time it is over there. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I want to talk about turning some of our perceived weaknesses into our strengths. And first, I say perceived weaknesses because a lot of times I think that these traits that we might think are a weakness is just because maybe they don't fit in with our current society, but they are a unique, cute trait that we have for ourselves that actually is beneficial in some ways, although to some people it may not be seen as a strength. And we then ourselves sometimes internalize how things are being reflected back to us, and we start to think of them as weaknesses. So, for example, if you are really sensitive or empathetic or an empath, as a lot of us are, and we're learning more about what that means, or if you're a little different, if you're introverted or like more of a thoughtful person, or even if you procrastinate, there's actually, or you're a perfectionist, whatever, all these qualities that might be seen as like a negative or a weakness, there's actually a positive twist to them. So I think the big thing of starting to see some of our weaknesses as strengths is to first shift our mindset on them and really think, what is the positive here? How can this trait actually serve me in life and help me serve the world in a better way? Because ultimately that's kind of why we're here, or whatever our purpose is. We have a deeper purpose, so impact that we want to make on this world, and is this quality kind of helping you do that? So for me personally, being super sensitive, I for such a long time used to think that it's a negative, it's a weakness. I thought like, oh my gosh, I'm like crying all the time. I could feel people's pains, and I just was like in tears so much. I'm like, how, and I also felt like the world was literally on my shoulders. Like, not only did I care so much about the people around me and, my family, friends, work coworkers, all of that, but also the world. I cared so much about things that were happening around the world, and had a lot of empathy for them, but for so long I thought of this trait to be a negative and a weakness. I thought like, okay, I need to like be strong, and if only I didn't care so much about all of these things, I could focus on my tasks and my to-do list and get all these things done. Because in this go 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 society that we live in, it's all about doing and accomplishing and very like masculine energy stuff, whereas, the qualities of like, being present and spending time caring for people and, allowing yourself to be sensitive and emotional and feel those things sometimes is not as valued. So then for so long I didn't value that in myself. But recently, I am, first of all, so blessed to be so sensitive, and I have realized that it's actually such a strength in my life, and I've learned to use it as a strength. So now, first, being so sensitive, not only am I sensitive to people's energies, I'm also sensitive to the spiritual energies of the world. I can meditate and just connect with spirit and with other realms, with my higher self, with just the universe. And it's such a powerful, amazing feeling that has really guided me throughout my entire life, when I didn't even know that it was, but it was this whole time. I just had this connection to light that I let guide my entire path, even when I didn't have the forces around me in the physical world, whether it was like adults and things like that that were supposed to maybe teach me the ways. Even if I didn't have that, I always had this light guiding me, and I didn't even realize what that was till recently, that was my sensitivity that allowed me to tap in to these divine messages and that divine guidance in life. And now it has turned into even a spiritual career for me, which is amazing. So I really learned how to use this weakness of being too sensitive to actually being too sensitive as my strength in my spiritual practice, because I'm able to tap in and really connect with the spiritual forces of the world and use that guidance to better my life, to channel messages to my friends, use my intuition to really kind of tap into the past, present, future, and provide insights to people and myself, and use this really divine guidance to better my life. And when I'm doing Reiki, I could so easily sense and feel people's energies and where they need the healing and really target it to that area. So it's helped me help people better. And being sensitive and empathetic is actually also helping me in my life in general. Because of that, I'm able to now, spot people who are spiritual like me very easily and connect with them. Whereas before I had no idea, like who was where, and I just felt overwhelmed. But now, really tuning in to my sensitivity, I'm able to use that to actually create opportunities in my life and bring people in my life that I'm more connected with. And in turn, I have these wonderful, beautiful relationships with people. And I really think life is about love and relationships. And when you're surrounded by that, like, it's such a beautiful thing. So I've kind of used my sensitivity is now actually like my superpower, even though I used to see it in the past as a weakness. And I just think it's such a powerful thing, and I feel like we're all so perfect in how we are. We are made perfect. We are so unique and different, but that is actually an amazing, powerful thing. So I want you to think about what is a perceived weakness that you might have, and actually what is the positive in it? How is it actually helping your life? And once you figure that out, maybe practice that more. So if you are a very empathetic, caring human being, maybe you can volunteer and build that side of yourself more, versus, being in the shadows and kind of letting this like super type A, aggressive, narcissistic society kind of make us feel like sometimes we're in the shadows and we're not as important as everyone else, because times are changing and we're moving towards higher light, higher vibrations, and in order to do that, we have to be our true, full selves. Thank you so much for listening in, and especially if you listen through the whole thing. I'm very new to this whole video blogging, but I really want to do more of it. I want to share my voice and my message, even if it's just for myself to vent and get it out there. I always felt like I had to be perfect in order to share my voice, because, when I had all my shit together, then I should be, sharing my experience, or else who am I to say? But I've just been feeling like, I'm never going to be perfect. And even when I think I have my shit together, which, I do actually, but we always want to improve. We always want more. That's just kind of how we are as humans. We always want to build on what we have. So I might not ever be perfect, and that's part of my human experience. So if I keep waiting till then, it might not ever happen. So I'm just going to take the leap and start sharing more videos and my voice with you, and I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much.